Hey there, welcome back to this video where we graph sine and cosine functions with phase shift. This is part 2, so make sure you watch the first part where we actually graph some functions and showed how the certain parameters of a sinusoidal function kind of affect a function. We're going to go ahead and look specifically at some multiple choice questions that you'll see on the AP Precalculus exam. But just to remind you, a sinusoidal function has parameters A, B, C, and D, and they do different things. The A value will affect the amplitude here. So your A value is 2. You can see here how we go up from our midline 2 units and down 2 units to the minimum from your midline. Your midline is determined from your D value here. D is -1, so Y equals -1. That's our midline, right? So that's why our graph's shifted down 1. And then the parameters on the inside that are paired around our X, these are horizontal transformations, and these usually change. They're not as they appear. The first one that we have here is a 4. That will affect the period. It's a multiplier, and multipliers that affect our x-axis or horizontal multipliers, they will be multiplied by the reciprocal. So I see a 4, but really it's a factor of 1/4. And so what you can see here is that my period, instead of being 2 pi, shortens to pi over 2. And then lastly, we have the C value here. The C value is always opposite. So here it's actually -pi4, and what that does is it takes our graph to the left. And so you can kind of see here, hey, we shifted left pi4, and our period is only 1 pi. Okay, or sorry, pi halves. 1 pi4, another pi4. So let's look at some multiple choice questions. They give a function here, b. B is given by sine of 2 pi over, or sorry, of x plus 2. What's the period and the phase shift of the function? Now, remember that your b value here, which is 2 pi, that's going to help determine your period. Your period will be equal to 2 pi divided by b. So 2 pi divided by 2 pi is 1, period of 1. So we're going to get rid of C and D. And then our C value here, remember our C value is opposite, -2. So we're getting shifted to the left 2. There you go. That is B. Okay, so here is some practice questions. Please go ahead, pause me, and then I'll show you the answer solution to this practice one. All right, hopefully you pause this one. Here you have a B value, which is pi thirds. So your period is going to be equal to 2 pi times the reciprocal, which is 3 over pi. The pi's will cancel, and you should get 6. Okay, so we're going to toss out A and B, and then your phase shift is 3. We're going right 3. So you should have got C on that one. Okay, kind of more of the same, but this one is worded a little bit differently. They say the function f is given by f of x equals -2 sine of 4 pi x. The graph of f is mapped to the function g in the same xy plane by a horizontal translation of pi units to the left. Pi units to the left. Which of the following is an expression for g of x? So I'm going to go ahead, ask you to pause me, and then I'll show you the solution here in a second. Okay, first of all, pi units to the left means that your C value is equal to -pi. And so what we should see here is we should see, a plus pi. So it's not going to be B or D because these have the minus pi. It's always the opposite. And so it's A and C. Now the difference, look at the difference between these two, is one has parentheses and one does not. We're looking for the one that has the parentheses because if it doesn't, then you have your B value mixed in. So our answer here is going to be C. We always want to see that parentheses, okay? And to figure out what our true C value here would be is I would have to factor out a 4 pi, and then that would be x plus, I think, 1/4. Would give us that one. So it would only be a C value of -1/4. Okay? All right, last practice one here for this lesson. The figure shows the graph of a trigonometric function f. Which of the following could be an expression for f of x? Okay, so I have all of these. Please go ahead, pause, and try to answer this one. Okay, So hopefully you got an answer for this one. What I would like to point out for this one is please note that all of the A values are exactly the same. So they're telling you the amplitude is 2, and they're also telling you that your midline is 1. Now I do like to go ahead and graph this midline on the graph because I feel like that's important. Also too, notice the period, they're all saying, hey, it is 2. So I have all of these options, and I kind of want to know, what is it going, what could it be? So the first one that I'm going to look at is I like to look at, ones where they're the same. And so notice here we go right pi force. So that is going to be this location right here. And if I go right pi force, this cannot be a cosine function because it is on the midline. So it's not going to be this one. And it's going up. So hey, I think that's a good option. Could be that one. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna generally circle that one. I think that may be the answer. Let's look at A. Sine, if I go right pi halves. So if I go right pi halves, that's up here. That's at a maximum. Nope. It's not going to be A, okay, because it's not at a midline. And then if I go right pi, I'm down here at a minimum. That could be the answer for this one if A was negative, but it's not. Okay, so our final answer, B. All right, in this video, we went over some multiple choice questions with all the parameters of a sinusoidal function. Hopefully you learned something and got a little bit more practice in multiple choice with AP Precalculus. Give the video a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.